Welcome back to another episode of Film Bunker. We're glad to have you here on the Friday that it is. And today we're going to talk about the worst sequels ever.
Worst sequels ever.
Where did it go wrong? Let's find out.
Alright, so the worst, absolute worst sequels to films. Lego.
And we're talking about great films.
Did you
that
say
have
Lego?
Bad sequels.
Lego.
We're talking about great films that have bad sequels.
Yeah.
Correct.
And how did they get greenlit? Oh, I guess box office results, the first one, which was great. So, all right, let's start out with the first one on our list: Independence Day 2, something Resurgence. Why?
So
Look. Okay, so I can appreciate what they did there. All right, to you guys and you guys, I can appreciate what they did. Throw check.
Okay. So
Insert cricket sound.
one, they tried to save money by getting one of the cheaper Hemsworths.
Cheaper Hemsworth. Sorry, Liam.
So,
But you didn't quite make it.
well,
buddy.
okay. Okay, hold up. Now, if you can't work out what I'm talking about, watch it again.
Don't watch it again.
And every time he's in a ship, right, flying a ship, no matter what's happening in the ship, he's it's like, dude, you're just moving a rock. Like, calm down. It's terrible.
It's pretty awful. And look, to be honest, it started out really well, and then Will Smith went, "Nope, I'm not doing it."
What
And
foresight?
then they decided to kill his character.
And get a cheaper black guy.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Moving right along, let's go even worse scenarios.
Okay, hit me with it.
Hit me with your best shot.
Spider-Man 3.
Oh,
God.
done. Okay, look.
Do the walk, Chad. Do the walk. Come on.
Do the walk.
Okay, so I legit, I waited till the scene was over as well to walk out of the theater. And I feel like you guys know exactly what scene I'm talking about because...
I have no idea.
So the one thing good about that movie was the introduction, not the execution, the introduction of Sandman, which is an awesome character, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
But this scene
as
right
far as
here,
it got.
when he was like... to girl, and like the girls were like, who is this guy? He's stupid. Who is this guy? And he was like doing this. He's like,
I reckon actually, I mean, behind the scenes, I've heard little murmurs and rumors that Sam Raimi, who was responsible for the 3 films, really wanted to just have the Sandman, and that was it. And the studio went, nope, you have to put Venom in there as well. And that led to rewrites during the shooting.
John Wayne now.
And so he inserted that stuff in the film as a bit of a to Sony.
man, I just, and the actor who portrayed Sandman, I agreed with.
Yeah,
I think that was a good pitch.
Church, Hayden Church. I think.
yeah.
Great actor.
You know what's funny
You've
though?
seen the film Sideways? Brilliant in that.
What's funny is I used to know who Tobey Maguire was, and I only just remembered his name now because I was going to ask them. What was the guy's name again? And that trilogy just made me forget all about him.
And I don't really like Spidey as it is, so they didn't really do much for me.
And then what they do is the guy from freaking what's the show? That 70s show. Please, Venom? Get out of here.
Oh, the guy.
Get out of here. Cut it out. Next.
So the next one on our list was Vin Diesel decided to leave, and we should bring in Ice Cube because that's naturally what you do. Triple X2. Oh
Okay.
God!
There is only one
Can we
film.
play the?
I know. I got it.
There is only
That's
one
not bad.
film that I
Thank you.
like Ice Cube in, and that's I think it's Ghosts of Mars. Have you seen Ghosts of Mars?
Have you seen 21 Jump Street?
Yeah. Hey, he's done a couple of good
Excellent.
ones.
Other than that, Ice Cube is like the
I
same
loved him in
character.
Three Kings.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
fickle.
But, you know.
Circling back to the suckage of that film, though, it was like, where were you?
Xander Cage was a bit of a cool character. It was early on in Vin Diesel's career, but then to lose your main iconic character because he wasn't available and didn't want to do it.
I'm pretty sure he just didn't want to do it.
Probably. All right, moving right along. Fast and Furious 562.
Hang on. Which one are we actually talking about? Two?
The last one was the worst
No,
for me.
two.
He's gone, ladies and gentlemen. But seriously, like, it was awful. That's gone.
Two did it
Stop
for me.
making them. Just give up. Yeah,
Two did it for me.
in here.
man.
560.
Actually, the Tokyo Drift one was a bit awful too.
Yeah. Look, okay, look. There's some good moments in 5 and 6. Moments, but the latest one, the Fate of the Furious, was just so.
Yeah, that was
And then,
a bit awful.
and then I love how they had to bring The Rock in to try to save the series.
And now they're talking about doing a spin-off with Jason Statham and The Rock's character.
Of course
and that's
they
it.
are.
It's happening. It's fully announced. That comes out next.
So we've just been told by our director that it's actually happening. They're moving ahead with that. So Fast and Furious 563. Moving on. Look, last week we talked about our top 10 greatest villains. The Terminator was in there. But
You okay over there? You did water or something?
Can I get a boss, please? No, before we started filming, we discussed this, right? And we're like, oh yeah, let's talk about Fast and the Furious 62, or then like 57, and this guy comes out of left field with 562. But that's how it is, though. Like it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
So moving on to the next film. We talked about last week about our top 10 greatest villains. Coming in number 2 was the Terminator. But then this week we are talking about one of the worst sequels, and that was T3.
Before you say anything, have you
Rise of Machines,
has anyone
by the way,
seen
playing home.
seen the special features of Terminator 3?
No,
I've seen little
Okay,
bits.
No.
When you finally go to the special features, the first thing that happens is Arnold Schwarzenegger comes up just sitting there and he goes, "Hi there, welcome to Terminator 3, The Rise of the Machines. In this DVD you will see the commentaries of Jonathan Mostow, the director, and commentaries from me and other cast members."
But
Nice, I remember
look,
that.
I really like Jonathan Mostow as a director. I love U571, one of my all-time favorite popcorn movies.
That was a good film.
But yeah, it just went all pear-shaped for that film. So
And what actually the thing that got me started that I didn't like about it, because I am the biggest Terminator fan like in the world, 6'5", right?
Yeah.
And like in one of the first scenes, it shows that the T-800's just sort of walking off the assembly line and even with the surround sound on, their lasers like beep 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 beep. It's like, dude, come on, really?
So moving on to films that you just should never go see. Chad.
Thank you. All right.
Sorry, my enthusiasm is about as good as the films that these are.
All right. Now, I'll introduce this film via famous YouTube video when he goes, "Just do it." Indiana Jones: A Crystal Skull was a horrible adaptation and trying to put the movie or like the trilogy, if you will, in a new direction.
Can I also just state, okay, one of the biggest arguments I hear about this film and people call it terrible is that it had aliens or whatever. Okay. Now look, that didn't annoy me because in the first film you've got the power of God in a box.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, I've got spirits shooting out of me. I'm happy with that. In the second one, shoves a hand in some guy's chest, pulls out a beating heart.
Yeah, but I feel like
Cool.
I feel like the dialogue made that cool. He was like,
Kalima.
and he was just like this little tank little dude. You know what I mean? He's like, He was
So I was like, yeah,
terrifying.
cool.
Okay,
I
now-
can accept
now,
that.
the-
Hang on.
yeah.
And then in the third one, you've got the cup of Christ that can heal and bring back to life and,
yeah.
and give you everlasting life. But then nobody can accept aliens?
Okay.
You miss the whole point. The worst thing about this film is the film itself.
right.
Okay.
It's awful.
I need to mention some things. First of all, I think what killed it for most people was the refrigerator, hiding in a refrigerator. And so just in case no one knows, if a nuclear explosion goes off, cockroaches will survive. Plus, if you hide in a refrigerator, you'll be fine.
Yeah, so if Kim and Don go head to toe very soon, find yourself a lead fridge, you'll be fine.
Also Twinkies.
Yeah. We learned that in Die Hard. Now, but do you guys actually know? Does anyone at home know the actual mythos of the crystal skulls?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that I absolutely love. And when I heard that was going to be where they were going, I was like, oh, brilliant.
But that's where the alien thing comes in. So for those of you who don't know, the mythos of the crystal skulls is that there are actually 13 crystal skulls scattered across Earth. We've only found 6 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
They're made 30,000 years ago from the actual crystal that you find on the bottom of a DVD. So the mythos is that they're there to store information, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
And-
hold up, like legit?
Yeah.
Legit.
This is
Like,
the-
so
this
they
is the
actually
actual-
think that
yeah.
these
Like
things...
we have found 6 of these.
Yes, correct. And most of them are in like monasteries where people who are sick and dying go in and touch it to try and get healed and stuff like that.
So they think that these can actually hold and transmit information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
This is absolutely legit.
You guys aren't pulling my leg.
No.
No,
This is
really legit.
this is why they turned it into an alien kind of film, because it kind of like
The other thing is they've looked under the most powerful microscopes that we have in science at the moment,
Yeah.
and they can't find any grooves or cuts.
Yeah.
So how were these
30,000 years ago
ground
Wow.
into the shape that they are?
Sandpaper.
The other thing is that one of the mythos behind that
Really,
is
really,
that
really.
the cool mythos, I guess, if you will, behind that is that the 13 skulls are molded from the 13 humanoid life forms in the galaxy. That's the mythos behind it. It's really cool. Really cool.
Okay.
So the fact that they played with that and just didn't touch on it at all,
Idiots.
Oh,
But, you know, okay,
wow.
look.
Knowing that, I hate the film even more.
exactly.
Yeah, so,
Right?
do we have to move on? You know what's next?
I do actually. I just read our notes.
Just say it. Just say it.
There's a
Just say it.
coming. No, you do it. You do the Arnie.
I'm gonna take it to the cooler.
So Batman and Robin.
Robin.
Which, by the way, if you ever bump into George Clooney on the street, he will actually refund you the price of the movie ticket.
What?
He's that ashamed of the film. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
a couple of fans have actually bumped into George
My
Clooney.
respect of George Clooney just went.
It did just that much. It's just a
Yeah,
little.
that's unreal. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
now look, I mean, it's an awful film. We all know that. And Joel, I can't give too much stick to Joel Schumacher because he was given a job by Warner Brothers, which was to turn Batman into a family-friendly film.
Okay, how many times have we turned around and said, okay, the producers said this and that, you know? Okay, guys, come on.
Studios,
Work
like,
it out.
please listen to the
Christ.
greater audience. We
Leave it in the hands of the
don't
creatives.
want Neo Batman ever
However,
again.
I
Neon Batman.
I will say this one thing. It did introduce a lot of people to a lot of cool, to some, not a lot, some very, very cool characters.
Yeah, cool.
So
Okay.
Mr. Freeze is actually a boss. Poison Ivy was probably the most attractive Uma Thurman has ever been.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
That goes up to you, lady.
Gattaca, she was pretty hot too.
Right?
Just saying.
Ah, yes.
And then it was one of the first Bane on screen.
Yeah,
It was, but when you...
And how did it go?
He was like this. He was like,
I don't know who sat in a director's chair and went, that's a wrap, everybody. This is fantastic.
No, hold on.
I love
Stop. You gotta hit my chest first. Turning this skinny little munchkin into you know
man.
Andre the Giant.
it. How we went from
Unreal.
that, though, to Batman Begins. Thank you, Chris Nolan. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, so
Absolutely.
moving along.
Moving on.
Yes.
So, anyway. Next terrible sequel
I'll take care of this one, buddy.
Oh,
Right? Because this is
a little
this is-
little
this
close
is-
to home for Chad.
It's
as
personal
well.
for me.
Personal.
I'm a major fan
Oh, here we go.
of the Xenomorphs. Okay, and we have a bit of a personal feud, Kez and I. Who's better?
Predator.
Wrong. Okay, it's aliens.
Sorry, what? Predator.
Can you speak into my good ear?
Predator.
Okay, now I wasn't sold on Prometheus. I thought it was a great movie if they would have stuck to what they said it was.
Or if it was a cartoon.
It has nothing to do with Alien whatsoever. But in the ending, it's like
Charlize Theron's character died like a Looney Tunes character.
that's the best description I've ever heard of that.
Just got run over by the ship. And it was the most comical thing I've seen
good.
in a serious movie. Anyway.
Two things before you go.
But we're not talking about Prometheus. Where are we
Two
going?
things.
Oh, okay.
One, the main guy that they called like it was like a cheap Tom Hardy because he looked like Tom Hardy was looking off from the OC. Second thing, what was my second point? Yeah, so okay, that movie would have been so much better if one of the deleted scenes wasn't deleted.
Ooh.
The scene where Michael Fassbender actually communicates to the alien thing as it comes out of the pod before it takes his head off. There's a whole scene there where he is speaking in the language to the thing.
But anyway, we're not talking about Prometheus because we don't mind
sorry.
that.
So wasn't sold on Prometheus.
But
Covenant.
Ugh.
Now I will fight him at some point in my life because of the feud we have against aliens v Predators. Aliens are better. That's just the way the world works. I don't know what you're gonna do about it, you know? But this movie, I will 100% agree, it needs to be on this list.
look, I mean, originally it was titled Prometheus Lost Paradise.
Some awful.
And then the greatest thing happened on the internet was concept art for Alien 5 by Neil Blomkamp was released. The internet went into this massive stratosphere of excitement, and all of a sudden it got cancelled. And what happened? Ridley decided to change the name of Prometheus to Alien Covenant. So obviously he got wind of the fact that everybody was really kind of wanting more of an Alien movie than a Prometheus film, and he changed it.
Yeah.
And
then the only rescue that this had was the video game release.
Oh, it was great, wasn't it?
Shortly after.
Yeah, really good.
And I can't remember the name of it for the life of me.
It was Alien Covenant.
No. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one where there's no weapons, there's no nothing. All you have is the alien radar detector, and you have to survive. It's a psychological thriller type of game where you have to sneak around, and the alien is stalking you, and that's like
about Alien. That's what
terrifying.
I love about Alien, and
Terrifying.
reinforcing your love of the franchise is
100%.
that stalking.
Right?
Aliens.
very much so.
Can I just
Great
mention
film.
one thing? You know, in one of our previous episodes, we talked about the villains and how like having power makes you a good villain. I want to compare Alien to Aliens quickly, like in 10 seconds.
Yep.
Alien was terrifying. Aliens was like sort of
A
scary.
bit more action.
Right.
Yeah.
Alien was terrifying because who had the power? The aliens were going after a bunch of scientists who couldn't defend themselves. Aliens was a bunch of Marines who knew how to defend themselves against the same thing. And that's one of the reasons why it wasn't as terrifying.
Right.
So that's one of the points I wanted to make from the last episode. So
But I just don't get how they could go so wrong with such a great storyline. So
The franchise, like there's so much of it that you know what I mean. Like it's
I'll do the fingering.
if there's just
I don't know how that made it into the final cut.
there's so much that they could have done that they didn't do. All right.
And Billy Crudup, I love that actor, and he was worse than a dropped meat pie. Like, oh, far out. Okay, anyway. Look, guys, they're some of the worst sequels we have seen.
Ever.
But soon, don't worry, we'll rescue you. We'll touch on the best sequels we have ever
The
seen.
best sequel.
But as always, what do we do, guys?
Like, subscribe, and comment below. Make sure to check out our Facebook and watch our videos there. Maybe like on that as well. We thank you for tuning in this week.
We'll see you
Thank you very much.
next time on the Film Bucket.
Bada boom. Pinkies up, gentlemen.
Pinkies up.
Whoa, fancy, smashy. Oh, it's wonderful. Let's have a cup of tea.
I don't believe you.